Find the number between 50 and 100 and its digits have a total of 11 and a difference of 5. You might want to pause the video and see if you can work out this yourself before I go through it here. So if the number is between 50 and 100, it must have a tens digit of at least 5, and if the total of the digits is 11, the units digit must be 6, because 5 plus 6 is 11. But the problem is, the digits 5 and 6 don't have a difference of 5. The difference is 1, because 6 minus 5 is 1. So it's not 56. So let's try a tens digit of 6. And if the tens digit is 6, and we have a total of 11, the units digit is 5. But again, we have the same problem. The difference is only 1. So it's not 65. So now let's try a tens digit of 7. And if the tens digit is 7, we need 4 more units to make a total of 11. But here, the difference between the digits is 3, because 7 minus 4 is 3, and we need a difference of 5. So it's not 74. Now let's try a tens digit of 8, and if the tens digit is 8, to make the digits total 11, we need 3 units, and here we do have a difference of 5, because 8 minus 3 is 5. So we can say that all of the conditions are met, and our number is 83. Now pause the video and see if you can find the number which is between 30 and 50, a multiple of 7, and an even number. So if we know that a number is a multiple of 7, we know that it's in the 7 times table. So let's recall our 7 times table until we reach a number above 30. So 1 times 7 is 7, 2 sevens are 14, 3 sevens are 21, 4 sevens are 28, and 5 sevens are 35. So 35 is between 30 and 50. It's a multiple of 7 because it's in the 7 times table. But what's the problem with 35? Well, 35 isn't an even number, so it's not 35. Remember, even numbers need a units digit of 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. But the next multiple of 7 after 35 is 42. And 42 is still between 30 and 50. It's a multiple of 7 because it's in the 7 times table. And it's an even number because it has a units digit of 2. So our number must be 42. Now find a pair of numbers with a total of 20 and a difference of 8. So if we have 10 plus 10, we have a total of 20, but we have a difference of 0 because 10 minus 10 is 0. So our numbers aren't 10 and 10. If we try 11 and 9, that totals 20, but the difference is only 2, because 11 minus 9 is 2, and we need a difference of 8. So it's not 11 and 9. Now we could try 12 and 8, but I think we're still quite far off having a difference of 8. So let's try 13 and 7. That totals 20, but 13 minus 7 is 6. So we still don't have a difference of 8, but we're getting closer. So now let's try 14 and 6. 14 plus 6 is 20, and 14 minus 6 is 8, so we have a difference of 8, so our numbers must be 14 and 6. Now pause the video and see if you can find numbers, or pair of numbers, with a product of 24 and a sum of 11. So if two numbers have a product of 24, that means when you multiply them together, you get 24. And those numbers have to add up together to make 11. So 12 times 2 is 24, because we know that 12 plus 12 is 24. So we know 12 times 2 is 24, but 12 and 2 have a sum of 14. So our numbers are not 12 and 2. 6 times 4 is 24, but with 6 and 4 we have a sum of 10, not 11. So let's try something else. 3 times 8 is 24, and 3 plus 8 is 11. So our numbers must be 3 and 8. I think of a number, I multiply by 5, I subtract 3, I get 37. What number did I think of? Now the way to answer questions like this is to work backwards. So if we start on 37, and we subtracted, or I subtracted 3 to get 37. But if we're working backwards, we can use the inverse operation, and we can add 3 to 37, and that gives us 40. So I multiplied by 5 to get 40, so if we're using the inverse operation, we can divide 40 by 5. So if we count up in 5s until we get to 40, we'll need to count 8 times, because 5 times 8 is 40. So 40 divided by 5 is 8. So 8 is our number. And we can check this, because if 8 is our number, we multiply 8 by 5, we get 40. Then we subtract 3 from 40, we get 37. I think of a number, I halve it, I add 9, I get 17. Now pause the video and see if you can find the number here. So the best way to answer these questions is to start at the end and work backwards. So let's start on 17, and rather than adding 9, we can use the inverse operation, so we can subtract 9. 17 take away 9 is 8. So in the question we halved to get 8. But we're working backwards, so we're not going to find half of 8. What are we going to do? We're going to find double 8. And remember, double 8 is the same as 8 plus 8, or 8 times 2. So double 8 is 16. So our number is 16. And we can check this, because if we have the number 16, and we halve it, so we do 16 divided by 2, that gives us 8, and then if we add 9 to 8, we get 17. So our number is 16.